if you want to see us cut an RX7 rotary Wankel engine open today, I think you picked a good day to watch another one of our videos. If this is your first time here, I'm a scuba diver, and normally I'm in the water pulling cars out that we find underwater. We do this at no cost to agencies. We're strictly volunteers. However, like here's what we have going on right now. We have an RX7 that we pulled out like 2 months ago. We're currently still in place for this whole COVID-19, the stay-at-home orders, all that shelter in place. And so we thought, you know what? Let's take one of these cars that we pulled out and do like a 5, 6, 7-part series, which is turned into like a 7-part series, Kiara. We took this car apart, Kiara, like headlights out, engine out, shot the car there. We are tearing down the transmission. We're tearing down the engine. This is what they call a 12A rotary engine, as far as I understand. I'm not a car guy, so I'm just putting it out there right now. Inside of it, normally engines have like pistons that like fire up and down, but a rotary engine has like some type of a spinny, they call them Doritos. This is referred to as a Wankel engine, which I believe the Wankel was the creator of this engine. We're keeping you guys entertained. We really appreciate you being here. So if you've not already done so, be sure to subscribe. We also have a snowcat coming up. We're going to Colorado to pull out. It's a 15,000-pound snowcat, 65 feet deep. You never know what we're going to do on this channel. Like sometimes we found a 73 Mustang. We found a 1960 Jaguar. A lot of other cars we pulled out. So be sure to subscribe, smash that thumbs up, leave comments. It all helps that YouTube algorithm. That's what allows us and our family to be here to do what we do. Back behind the camera today, Kiki the camera girl. You'll never see her face, you'll see her wave, you'll see thumbs up, and sometimes I get her disapproval with thumbs down. Oh, and we have a battery going with this as well. If you've never seen what's inside of a car battery, we're gonna be tearing that down for you today as well. The next video after this, we're making a backyard foundry to melt down the part of the aluminum that's on the transmission and some of the aluminum off the wheels and everything that we've got here. People have been asking for items from these vehicles that we keep finding. They said, can I have a piece of it? To allow everybody a souvenir of some sort of these vehicles we've been pulling out. We'll be taking the metal, melting it down, and making special souvenir collector coins, limited edition, because there's, as you can see, there's not much metal on here. My initial goal was to do 1,000 coins. It might be toned down to only 500 coins. It's gonna be a first come, first serve. How do you get access to them first before everybody else? Be sure to click the little membership button. You get early access to videos. And so when the coin video drops, we're going to release a link for everybody that watches the video, but because you're a member, you'll have early access to that. I make no guarantees that anybody's getting a coin because, like I said, it's a first come, first serve basis. When the coins are gone, they're gone. There's nothing I can do to make any more because we only have so much metal from these cars. Thanks again for being here. Let's get this show going. Okay, we're gonna rewind today in preparation of this taking place tomorrow, which is today, which is what you're watching right now. So it got me thinking, if the battery went into the river right away, will the battery actually hold a charge? So what we're gonna do, real quick, we're gonna throw this on the charger, let it sit for the night. Before I did all this, I actually took the water out, or the acid or the water out of it, and I put fresh water in there. Ooh, it's making noise. All right, well, we'll have your answer for you. We got nothing. You put them on your tongue?
No, Dad.
It moves.
Okay, that's gross.
So what we've learned is that a battery in the water after 36 years has absolutely no juice to it. What we're gonna do later on though is let's take these off, Kiara. We're gonna turn it upside down, and it currently has no acid in here because yesterday I ended up flushing it. Plus I think after 36 years it's been flushed pretty good in the river. But we're gonna empty out the water, and later on today, after we get the motor and the transmission washed off, and before we open that part up, we're gonna open up the battery and show you what's inside of a car battery. Have you ever seen the inside of a car battery, Kiara?
No.
Today is your lucky day. You have so many lucky days hanging out with me.
Yeah.
That sounded like sarcasm to me. A sarcastic response. But let's show you the inside of a battery real quick. so that didn't come open. Looks like a paper between each one of those. I think that that's lead in there, but I'm not sure. I don't know, it's paper. Maybe it's not lead. Yeah, it's a lot harder to pull a battery apart than I thought. So it looks like we might even have different sections in here. Yeah, let's just keep bending this back. This is almost like a just a little dense fiber. What's a foam? Is what I'm trying to say. Well, I'm gonna say, Kira, if you look at it, see how it has like the separators here?
Yeah.
So with that, I'm gonna say that it's just divided by each one of these. So there's one section there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections, I'm gonna say. You can see that it just keeps going all the way across there. And it's just separated by the hard plastic. Now, as far as how a battery actually works, I have no idea. I'm not the channel to be telling you that kind of stuff. So if you wanna know, just type into like YouTube or Google it, find out more about batteries. I'm probably too lazy to even go Google it to see if I can melt those down. So leave me a comment down below. Can I melt those down? And will the rest of that paper go away? And is that lead? So if you take a look at this, like just think about how pitted that is. Like that's been in the water for 36 years, and just the way that the sand and rocks have hit that over time, because the car was upside down 100%. You cannot restore that thing. And that is why we're melting this down and we're making coins. That's right, if I didn't already mention that, we're making coins out of the transmission, out of the wheels, other parts that we can melt down from this car. Let's start unbolting as much as we can from the motor itself, see if we can get the fan off, salvage that. It's gonna be a fun project today, Kira. Anything that's not metal, let's work on getting that off right now. You know, somebody that might actually want that for the auction. Last week, we ended up doing a live auction with like all of this stuff. I hope that you made it. If you missed it, people have been saying, hey Jared, I want like a piece of those cars. Can I have like the spark plug wiring harness? I'm like, okay, if you want it, I'll save it. And we'll see what it actually fetched in the auction. There'll be a link down below if you missed that live stream. Go check that out after this video. You know, with metal, normally if you just bend it back and forth like a couple hundred times, it'll break right off. Do you know that? Mm-hmm. I think just one more quick little spray down, Kira. Oops. And we'll have the top of this cleaned off. No, we are not getting that one off. We're gonna have to bust out the saw just to get some of this stuff off. You know what an alternator does, honey? So when the engine goes around, it has the belt on here that will make the alternator go, and the alternator is what charges the battery. And that's what an alternator does. And inside of it, we should have some copper wire, and this should be an aluminum housing, so we can use that to melt it down for some of the coins. Distributor cap. So a distributor cap goes inside of the engine, has like a shaft that goes down, and when it turns, it tells it up here it has a rotor cap, and inside of it, it has like different firing points. And so when that goes around, it'll tell each spark plug when to fire, so that way it's always firing the fuel and the spark inside. And that's what that is. Go. We'll put that at the auction as well. So the fan is a air conditioner fan. So the water pump right here pumps water through the radiator, and then the fan will kick on and help cool the radiator. That's the water pump we talked about earlier. We're gonna see if we can take this carburetor off the old school way. There's about 4 of these nuts that are holding it on. Wait, there's not, oh, it's just rusting off of there. Look, that thing completely just came off of there. Like there's no nut left on there even to even grab. I'm gonna have to drop the saw in there, just enough to cut off the top of the nut there. Oh, except it's probably threaded through that. No, it's only threaded through there. Okay, so we gotta knock that one off, knock that one off. All right, well, back to the saw, Kiara. Do you know what a carburetor does? A carburetor regulates the amount of fuel and the choke and like all of that for your engine to actually run. If you guys have been watching this series, I am not a car guy at all. I know enough to cause damage, for sure though. Like literally cause damage, right Kiara?
Yeah.
Let's just finish cleaning this up around here. From there, we should be able to knock out like these bolts that attach the motor to the transmission. And so we're gonna knock out each one of those with the saw. Same thing with down here. You can see like some bolts through there, through that little crack. And we should be able to start separating this. You know what's still on here? I didn't even think about. But this right here, Kiara, is the muffler pipe. So this is like the exhaust, exhaust headers, I think is what they call it. I don't know exactly. lucky, we can cast all that down. I think that's about all the cutting I can do on the top part. We'll see what's inside of here. If you see that we have like bolts that go through here that we would not be able to get to, so we cut those off that were attached between the transmission and the engine. We've got all the ones on top that we can see. Now we're going to flip this thing over and see if we can get to the ones underneath, and that should separate everything if we're lucky. There we go. That works for me. That's a lot we cut through. What do you think about that?
Wow.
And does this even turn? Yeah, this doesn't even turn. It's locked up. Now, I don't know if those are steel. So just the outer housing is aluminum. So we're gonna have to figure out how to get all that stuff out as well so we can melt this down. I'll tell you the other challenge that I have here as well. Once we turned this motor over, I didn't see any additional bolts on here to actually allow us to pry the rest of this transmission off of here. So this may be a bigger challenge than I've anticipated. We're back on day 2 of this little engine tear apart. The reason for it is we had a kind of big storm that came through, another big storm, Kira, and it was cold yesterday. And I was looking at a lot of this, Kira. Like if you look at this side here, this is where this section kind of plugged into it. I'm not exactly sure how it did, but it came right in there and we just cut those bolts off of it. And I was looking as to why these gears are still like stuck in here. And what I noticed was I'm not able to pull them out because if you look really, really close, this is actually 3 sections here. So we have a section here, we have a section here, and we have a section here. So if I just take the saw again and I cut the bolts, there, all the way around, I don't have to like be cutting down through this entire thing trying to figure out how to get it apart. That should now pry apart here. And I actually have no idea what this is even called. So if anybody in the comment section down below knows what the name of this whole section is, I mean, it has gears in it. So I'm gonna say it's called the gearbox. How's that sound, Kira?
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me too. I would definitely make the worst mechanic ever. But look at that. So that is all aluminum. So we're gonna use that for casting the coins. That's all aluminum. I believe that these are all steel. So we're not gonna be able to, oh look, those actually turn. So we're not gonna be able to use any of those. Oh, and there's some bolts in there too. So we'll have to take that apart before we do our actual casting. But that's kind of cool though, isn't it?
Yeah.
After all these years, 36 years underwater, inside of, I'm gonna say it's a gearbox. This came into here, Kira, and attached to there. And then when you move this around, it shifts the gears. I don't know. Somebody leave comments down below because I actually have no idea how all this works. All right, so it looks like we might just have one only we gotta cut through. Oh yeah, look at that, that's coming apart here. There we go. Okay, so big part of the transmission encases the clutch plate is what this is. So when you push your clutch in, it releases this that disengages the gears from the gearbox. I think I'm starting to get this figured out, Kira. Not quite sure.
There was a funny comment. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah?
Can someone count how many times he says Kira? I lost count after 150.
I challenged somebody to go back through this video and count how many times I said Kira. I'm really not sure how this comes apart, Kira. Go. Clutch plate is off. We're not even gonna save that. Maybe we will. We'll put it there. Maybe we'll wash it up. Maybe somebody will want it. Oh, there's a big nut there. When you're working on your own RX7 engine, do not bust out the plumbing pipe wrench. There is absolutely zero way we're getting that off. I don't have a doohickey that big. Okay, so that's coming apart a little bit there. Here's the nut off anyway. Oh, I guess I didn't have to go through that whole thing. Like that nut was actually its own nut. I thought it built into all of this, Kira. That's why I was trying to cut through all of that. Now, if you look in here, it's kind of difficult to see. Let me grab my screwdriver here. But look at each one of these nuts holds this transfer case to the housing to the, I don't even know what we call this. How many people are like, you know what, Mr. Isaac, we really enjoyed this episode, but or this series, but it's definitely time for you to get back in the water. You understand the purpose of a breaker bar?
I don't know.
Okay, so it's longer, it gives you more leverage. You use your own brute strength instead of what electricity you've got available in there. See that? Now that's loose. Now my other question that's going through my head, in order for the inside to come apart here, do I have to take all this stuff off as well? Okay, I'm expecting something big to happen now, Kira. 1, 2, 3, 4 more cuts. All right, it's moving now. Oh, what are we into, Kira? I'm so excited. This is going to be the very first unveiling of what's inside of a rotary Wankel engine, Kira. There it is. That right there is what everybody has been waiting for. And that is, instead of pistons, as we were talking about earlier, it has what they keep calling a Dorito. So it's like in the shape of a Dorito, right?
Yeah.
And so instead of firing on each piston, it fires every time this little puppy comes around. Let's see if I can actually get this out. Oh, I can get it out. Look at that, Kira. So this, I'm gonna say, and again, I'm no engine guy, so if I'm wrong on this one, I apologize right now, 100%. But every time it comes around and it fires, this is where it's firing on. So look right there. I'm gonna say that's where the spark is. Let's see. I don't know if that's where the spark is. No, here's the spark. Oh, it has 2 spark plugs in there. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4 spark plugs. So it's gonna fire here. It's gonna fire. Oh, it's not firing there. I don't know why there's 2 spark plugs in here. Because if you look right here, that's where the spark comes out. Where's this one firing? That part I don't know, Kira. That's really weird. That's really cool though. Does this excite you at all? Like seeing this for the very first time, you'd be like, yeah. If anybody ever says, hey Kira, have you ever seen a Wankel engine? You're like, I know what a Wankel engine is.
I'm glad you're so excited about this, Dad.
You don't know how excited I am. And I bet you there's a few viewers as well that are really excited about what's happening right now as well. They may not enjoy the entire process as to how we got here, but we got here. Well, I appreciate you being here, Kira. May not be as much fun for you, but this is kind of fun for me. There we go. Okay, you know what this is called? And I could be wrong, but I'm gonna go with a guess. It's called an exhaust header. And the reason why they call it exhaust is because once things are done firing in here, the flames come out of here, then they go through like a little combustion chamber and through the rest of the muffler, and that's where the muffler comes out. So this is the beginning of the muffler before it comes out the tailpipe at the back of the car. If we're lucky, the rest of this should just now pull apart. We'll cut this one off here. There's one on the other side we'll cut off. And if those 2 are off, then we should be able to pivot this one and finish pulling it off. All right, up, twist, twist, come on. Oh, come on. How's that gonna come out of there, Kira? Like, I'm so confused by this. Come on, car people, where are you at to help me out today? Let's just cut this straight down in half here, separate it, and then we'll see what the next section holds. Oh, that's all metal. I was hoping that was aluminum. There. Now, that should allow this other Wankel piece to come out, Kira. Okay, that one's off. I wonder if that one's aluminum. Where to put my magnet? Look at it. Okay, good. That's aluminum, but the inside of it is metal. This right here is our last piece key. Oh, those are hot, by the way. You hear them sizzling?
I saw it steaming.
Yeah, on my finger it was steaming.
Ow.
Okay. Same is this thing, is it just in the way? Like, I don't know how this actually comes up and comes apart. Because if you look at it, that whole thing turns like that. See how the whole thing's turning? But it doesn't give me the opportunity to bring this up and off. So that's timing chain, maybe is what they call that, but I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll turn that and see how all those gears turn in there. Whole system's pretty cool. Don't you think, Kiera? Is that not the most awesomest thing you've ever seen today? Today?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for giving me that one. Yeah, so all of that is unusable for me there. We may only get 500 coins out of this, people, so in order to make this profitable, or at least break even, we might have to go from $10 a coin to 14 or 15 a coin with less coins.
They're gonna be mad at you.
Well, you think they're gonna be mad, Kara?
Probably.
No, don't be mad.
Oh, you promised us this much, blah, blah, blah.
It was a first come, first serve anyway, so I could just say, oh yeah, there was 500 and you didn't get the first 500. We're not gonna do that. Like, we're completely like honest and legit with everything we're doing. We're not going to get, we're not going to pick up like other metal from like a scrapyard and melt it down for you and, you know, pass it off as part of the RX7. No, we are not that way. If we don't have enough coins, we just simply don't have enough coins, and I apologize. On that note, we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks for watching another episode of Adventures with Purpose, where you are currently part of a 5 or 6 or 7 part series. As we're currently in quarantine, under stay-at-home orders, we're bringing you content. I hope that you're enjoying it. Thank you, Kiki, the camera girl. Appreciate having you back. It's been a lot of fun with you. We have 2 more episodes coming out after this, which is the foundry making video, as well as the casting video, and we might even do that jack restoration video, depending on how much longer this whole quarantine thing goes on. On that note, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for being here. Later, and bye-bye.